And your last fight, was in Bellator, made the Bellator debut, and I know that you really wanted to go in there and wow the new audience that you were being exposed to. So just curious, great win. I thought it was a great win, a big win there. Keep the unbeaten streak going. Did you think that you wowed the people though? Did you go in and do what you wanted to do? Were you happy with the win?
そうですね。この機会をいただいて、
I was very grateful to be given this opportunity, and I didn't want to let people down who worked hard to get me this opportunity. And the fight definitely, I discovered some holes in my game. I definitely need to work on my skills. I was actually being very, very overwhelmed by her striking in the first round. But overall, I'm very happy to be able to get that finish, and I was able to show my strong points and get the finish. So I think I got some people to remember my name for sure.
Yeah, and Alara Joanne, your opponent that you had, would you say that she was maybe your toughest opponent yet? Because you've fought some, very good people so far. Of course, Shizuka Sugiyama twice. I mean, where would you rank, this opponent in terms of the toughest people you fought so far?
そうですね。はい。
Yeah, she was definitely my toughest opponent. Overall, her overall skills were definitely very high, and she was a very well-balanced fighter.
Yeah, of course, we knew that going in and, it showed, but still got the job done. A great win for you nonetheless. So just even the more impressive, right? So definitely. And, in terms of this overall experience, though, of getting to fight in Bellator, and, obviously it was in Japan and you guys were working with RIZIN and everything, but did it feel much different from where you've fought in the past? Of course, RIZIN and Deep Jewels, did it have a different vibe to it, or was it just kind of like, a Bellator show in Japan, I guess? I don't know. How would you describe it?
そうですね。やっぱりまずケージ
Yes, the circle cage was definitely something new for me. It's something that I have not experienced. But the thing that surprised me the most is when the fight got stopped, when the referee stopped the fight. Usually in Japan, the officials hit the gong, the bell, many times to notify everybody that the fight has been stopped. But for Bellator, there was no notice. The referee just jumped in, and that was it. It was like awful quiet. So that was a big surprise. I was kind of confused because in Japan they ring the bell and make sure that everybody knows the fight has been stopped. But it's just some operational differences that surprised me.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. It's a little thing, obviously, but I wouldn't have thought of that. Just I'm going to keep going. I'm so used to hearing this big, obvious sound. So yeah, that's definitely an interesting thing that you point out there. And you mentioned their cage, their circular kind of cage, obviously. But you fought most of your career inside a cage, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But in Deep Jewels, they use the cage mostly. But obviously, you've still done very well in a ring in RIZIN. Between the ring and the cage, though, do you find yourself more comfortable in one over the other, or is there a big difference between the two in general? Would you say?
そうですね。金網の経験はあるんですけど。
So if I had to choose between the two, I would definitely choose the cage. And although I fought in the cage a few times, I've never actually utilized the cage as a platform. So I don't really know how to fight in the cage. I just try to keep the fight in the center. But if I had to choose, I would definitely choose the cage because since I'm a judo practitioner, I like to utilize my throws and I like to grapple. And when I try to do that along the rings, along the ropes, sometimes my opponent falls out or a part of the body goes out and the referee stops and I have to restart. So those things can become a disadvantage. So the cage keeps it much more simpler, and I think it's an advantage for me.
Yeah, walls are definitely, helpful for your style. I think that there's no doubt about that, and having something to prevent people from escaping. Yeah, not that they're good at escaping from you anyway. So yeah, I can see that. And I spoke to the Bellator president Scott Coker actually after your win. I think the next month after that. I was asking him about you, and he was very impressed with your performance, and said a lot of good things. Would love to have you fight for him again. Is it flattering when you hear that? Because you were, in terms of the new audience that you were performing for, obviously that's one of the most important people if you want to go back and fight for them again. Is it flattering hearing, him be very complimentary of you?
や、それはもう率直というか素直にすごく
Yeah, I'm simply
嬉しいですね。
very
やっぱり
happy and
外
flattered
国
that
の選手
Scott
と
Coker
戦い
you
た
know
い、
remembered
海
my
外
name and how I fight.
の強豪選手と戦いたいって
So
言って
you know,
くれ
my
た人
goal
が
is
す
to
ごい
just
多い
continue
の
to
で、
fight tough
すごく嬉
fights.
し
I
い。
want to challenge myself and face
自
international
分の名前を
competition.
どんどん
I want to
覚えて
face
も
the
らえるよう
best.
にこれから
So
も頑張りたいなと
the fact
モチ
that
ベー
you
シ
know
ョンに
my
なりま
name
す。
is being recognized by the Western community, I think it's a fantastic thing. I would like to continue this, and you know, hopefully, I'll get my chance.
Yeah, definitely. That would be awesome to see. And I mean, the Bellator flyweight division this year, even though obviously we've had the break and things, but they've signed a lot of really good people, and their division is really good right now. I think better than it's probably ever been. And throwing your name in there makes it all that much better. So I mean, for whatever's next for you, would you hope to maybe go to Bellator or fight in Bellator a little bit more and get in, add to the depth of that division, and maybe even making a stateside debut in the USA for Bellator if that was possible?
そうですね。あります。もちろん。
Yeah, absolutely. I would
で、いける
definitely
なら、
like
い
to
けるならという
you
か
know
食い
get
込
in
んでい
there
きたいで
and
す
see what
し、
I can do. And I'm pretty
それはすごく
confident
自
that I
信もあり
could
ます。
do pretty well in that division.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's looking really good right now, but you'd be the reason for that. And we saw obviously took out one of the people that were in contention there in your last fight. So yeah, for sure. As for what you could have potentially next in RIZIN, I think everybody, they there was one name kind of in mind, and that's Rin Nakai. I'm sure that this has been you've heard about the possibilities there, but yeah, what do you think of a potential matchup with her? Is that something that interests you? Fighting Ren maybe in RIZIN New Year's Eve, hopefully, maybe if we can get you fighting again as soon as possible.
そうですね。
You know, that's a pretty hard question.
難しい。
Um,
え
but
そう
you know, if the timing is
で
right,
も
I think the fight could
試合
happen.
のタイミングが
But
別
my
の人は
my
その
number
試合
one
のタイミングが
motivation
ない
right
から
now is to face
参
international
戦することもあると思う
competition.
んですけど、
So that's a priority to me.
海外の選手と戦いたいっていうのが一番強いです。
Oh, hey, you made it to the end. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you like this video and want to see more like it, give it a like and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. Until then, we'll see you next time.